Well, I am down at the range one more time with the car, and I'm not sure how long I'm going to have it, but as I keep posting videos like, can a car stop a bullet, or do angles matter when you're shooting in a car, I get a lot of good comments from my friends as well as commenters on the YouTube video. And one of the comments from one of my friends who is in law enforcement is, I feel like the shotgun is underrated. He just went to a training where they shot different types of rounds through a car to see how they'd react, and he talked about how devastating the shotgun was with double-aught buck through a car. So I want to try that today, but I want to start off with my favorite defensive load for in the home for a 12-gauge shotgun, which is number 4 bird shot, or number 4 shot, and it is a high brass express shell. So this thing is packing a punch. I've tested it out on some wooden doors and it seems to go through a wooden door, but after that it kind of loses its momentum. So I feel like this is a good up close home defense round, but let's see how it does at the side of this car. I'm going to shoot into the rear door panel and we're going to see on the other side. Now it already has a few bullet holes, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to tell what are the shotguns and what aren't. So let's start off with this high brass number 4 shot. That hit hard. Let's go check it out. So that is wild. I mean, a huge dent in the side of the car. Holes everywhere, but if you look closely, they didn't actually go through the first layer of sheet metal. They went through this plastic and there's a big gaping hole, but it looks like most of them were actually stopped or contained in the door. So it looks like a door would protect you from most of these shells. Let's open it up and see. And yeah, we've already kind of ripped up this door panel, but it looks like there's some shot laying on the seats, but really not that big of a deal for the person inside. I mean, they might be injured, but definitely I don't think this is lethal. So let's step it up to the double-aught buck. Double-aught buck express shell from Remington. This has got 9 large pellets in it. So this should be really booking it with a lot of force through the door. I'm taking all these shots at about 7 yards, kind of a self-defense distance. Let's see how this guy does. I'm gonna try to shoot a little bit right of that first peppering. Oh, that hit hard. Man, so you can see this is the AK size hole, and look at all of those 9 buckshot pellets. I mean, just dented in the door. You can see the wadding was actually trapped in there. So we definitely have penetration down through there. It looks like some of it got embedded in the seat back here. Let's check the other side of the car and see if we got full penetration. So here's the opposing side of the car, and there are no new bullet holes. All of these bullet holes on this side were from the previous test with handguns and rifle rounds. So it looks like the buckshot came in through this door, kind of cracked up the door panel, and either wedged itself in the seat. It's looking like I'm finding some different pieces of lead, or wedged itself in the car. So it seems like a very damaging shot, but again, not as much force as a rifle or even a handgun. I imagine if you put that buckshot through the glass, you would be in trouble. The whole car would be devastated. But going through the door slows a lot of it down. So here in this door panel, I'm finding what I believe to be pieces of that lead shot. This was not here before, and it's still a little bit warm. So I'm thinking they came in, they might have bounced back off this door, so they didn't have enough force to go through plastic, and they just got kind of trapped in. So again, not as powerful as a rifle or a handgun once it goes through that door. So finally, a 1-ounce slug. I have a feeling this is going to do some damage. So far, it seems like a shotgun is not very efficient once it hits that first door. I took another look at the door, and a lot of the shot got stuck up in the brackets and was laying on the seat. So at that point, again, they might be injured, but I'm not sure if it's going to be quite lethal. Let's try this 1-ounce slug and see how that does. Oh, and busted out the glass on the other side. So there is a huge hole in this door. That is wild. But I disabled the door mechanism, so you can't open this door. If you look inside the car from this other side, I'll try to show you. There is a massive hole in here, and it looks like what it did was deflect the shell, the slug, upwards through the glass. So, man, that thing had some force. I would have liked to see what it did through the door, but that is really cool. So here is the other side. It looks like that shell went and deflected up and smashed out the glass. So I really wanted to see if it could go through both doors. So I've got one more 1 ounce slug, and I'm gonna try to put it a little bit lower and see if we can't make it through. Let's give it a try. Woohoo! Again, that hits so hard. All right, there is the second hole. Look how big that is. I mean, that is wild. Let's go check the other side and see. So there is a hole right here where the slug actually dug into the seat and came out the other side and put it into the door. Let's see if it actually made it through. And there is the slug hole. So it did make it through. That is wild. So that is packing a punch. So it seems like it'll bust right through both of the doors. And I think that is where it buried itself into the dirt. I can't seem to find the slug, but that is really cool. I'll keep on looking for it, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be wedged into these weeds somewhere. But you can see, made it through the car and then buried itself into the dirt over here. So I am really glad I did this test. It was a blast and it was pretty practical. I feel like it showed me a lot of things about the potential of a shotgun. It seems like that high brass number 4 shot, although it's really effective on wooden doors and in the house, it really can't penetrate that car door. Maybe a few pellets got in, but nothing really effective. Now the buckshot, on the other hand, seemed to make it easily through the first door, but get hung up in the seats and in the second door panel, because I found most of the lead pellets inside the car. So again, it got through the first door, but I'm not sure how lethal it would be after that. Now the 2 1 ounce slugs, on the other hand, packed a punch. This seems to be the most effective round out of a shotgun to get through both sides of a car. That thing was packing a punch, and it was traveling with a lot of force through those doors. The first one kicked off some of the door brackets, shot up and busted out the glass, and the second one went clean and clean through both doors. So I hope you guys liked this video, and if you have, please check out my other ones and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.